The stages of creating a database. As in every other software solution, there are 4 stages for creating a database. The first one being the analysis, which means defining the objects. We have to define objects from 3 points of view. The first one being the structural point of view. From the structural point of view, we need to define the objects, which are the tables. As examples of tables, we can have customers, we can have products, and so on. We're going to identify the associations between the objects. These are the links that I showed you earlier. Then the attributes. These are the table's characteristics. For example, the client's table can have name, address, phone number as attributes. And then the keys. What I mean by keys is that in a table, let's say the customers table, 2 customers may have the same name. Like 2 people can have the same name, so 2 customers can have the same name. In this case, we will use a key, like a unique ID for each customer, that we can uniquely identify each record of the table. Then we have the dynamic point of view. Here we identify the data types of each column. For the name of the customer, we can use a string. For the age of the customer, we can use a number data type, and let's say for his birthday, we can use a date data type. And the last point of view is the functional one. We identify the data sources and the uses of the data. As I said before, there are many data sources for a database, such as a text file, an ERP system, some other databases. And as for the uses of the data, we can think about what we want to achieve, what reports we want to create with the data we have, or what we want to analyze. Maybe the sales of a company, maybe the customer profile, or anything we can think of. The second stage of creating a database is designing it, defining the schema that I showed you before. In this example, we have a schema that represents a database that stores data about a company. We can see a company with its names and cities that it's located, its departments, buildings, employees, and projects. Moreover, after creating this schema based on the information that we identified before in the analysis phase, we want to choose the DBMS. We want to know information such as data volume or the frequency of data retrieval that we want to achieve in order to choose the DBMS, because every DBMS is different in terms of performance. It has different resources, and we have a lot of options for this software system. We have Oracle, we have Microsoft, we have Teradata, and so on. And then we can proceed with the creation of the actual design of the database. The third stage of creating a database is the implementation. Here we develop, populate, test, and document the whole process of implementing the database. In the development stage, we want to create every object that we identified in the analysis phase. We want to write code and create each object and prepare the database to be populated. In the population phase, we put data into tables and create the flows that automatically populate the tables from the data sources. As I said, the text files, the other databases or ERP systems. Then we want to test these flows that we created in the testing phase, and for finishing the implementation we want to document every step that we took, and this documentation has many parts, such as the technical documentation, the exploitation documentation, and the presentation. The last part is the operation of the database. Here, the database administrators take care of the resources that the database uses, the data access, such as giving access to users to select data or update it or delete it even, and the final phase, which is the reporting phase. Here we create the reports and we analyze the data in order to have a clear picture of our business and to be able to take decisions based on performance. Next, we're going to talk about restriction types.